Hey card collectors, I hope you all are happy collecting. I'd like to welcome you to the channel's first box break-in video. In this video we will be breaking in to the information. Get it? Break in?
Okay,
the data, the facts, the ins and the outs of the set of the 1990-91 NBA Hoops basketball cards. Well, first I want to start off by saying that all the data that I've collected and gathered on this set I've found off the internet from a quick Google search. And so I have found that some of those sources, they do have conflicting information in each of them. So the information I'm going to give you today is just basically a bunch of different sources on information that I found on this set, Series 1 and Series 2, that make up the whole set of the NBA Hoops. So if you disagree with any of the information, any of the card values, or anything that I discuss in this video, it's most likely due of different sources of information that I found versus what you have found, or some of that information may have just become outdated since the recording of this video. So with that, I'm going to jump into the facts of the 1990-91 NBA season. In that season, the Chicago Bulls defeated the Los Angeles Lakers in 5 games in the NBA Finals. And the Bulls had a solid record of 15-2 in the playoffs. They lost 1 game in the finals and 1 game against Philadelphia in round 2. The regular season started November 2nd, 1990 and went to April 21st, 1991. The playoffs ran from April 25th to May 30th, 1991. And the finals went from June 2nd to June 12th, 1991. In that season, the Bulls defeated the Pistons in 4 games in the Eastern Conference Finals, and the Lakers defeated the Portland Trail Blazers in 6 games in the Western Conference Finals. And Portland Trail Blazers were actually the top seed in the playoffs. And Charles Barkley was named the All-Star MVP. And Craig Hodges set a record of making 19 consecutive shots to win the 3-point contest for the 2nd year in a row. And the notable awards for that season was Michael Jordan was the most valuable player, and Derek Coleman was the Rookie of the Year, and Dennis Rodman was the Defensive Player of the Year, and the 6th Man of the Year was Detlef Schrempf, and the Most Improved Player was Scott Skiles, and the Coach of the Year was Don Chaney of the Houston Rockets. Now, some facts about the cards are there are a total of 440 cards in the set, both Series 1 and Series 2 combined. The Series 1 set are cards number 1 through 336, and Series 2 make up cards 337 to 440. In the Series 1 box set, there are no Series 2 cards in there. They just apply to Series 1, which are mainly the All-Star cards and the team players and sets. The second series makes up a handful of different categories of cards. For example, the NBA Hoops Tribune cards. These are 6 cards, and the Coaches Then and Now cards of coaches that at the time were coaching were previous players in the league earlier in their younger days. The art checklist cards, which each team has a checklist with the star player and a art form image, and also the draft pick lottery cards, a number of them in there. And it also has the inside stuff cards, the stay in school cards, and the don't foul out cards. The Series 2 cards also make up updated player cards for players that were traded into another team, and also errors from Series 1 that, such as, they had them listed as a different height or a different location of birth, different position played, different card numbers, just a bunch of random ones. There's a handful of those, and I'll go over a few of those here. These are the Series 2 cards, and in this one, Ronnie Sakali, the birth location was incorrectly stated on the first series card as it is in the second series, and it was corrected. So here, his birth location was Beirut, Lebanon, which is correct. This is the Series 2. And then the Series 1, here it is, this card. His birth location is listed as Athens, Greece. So that was an error that they corrected for Series 2. Another error was Billy Thompson. It's just an incorrect card number. So here's a Billy Thompson card 171 from Series 2. And from Series 1, Billy Thompson, card number 172. Another error was John Sundevold. Pretty much him and Billy Thompson's numbers were backwards, so it's 172, corrected version in Series 2. And Series 1 is 171. Then some of the other errors were Tom Chambers had him listed as a guard in Series 2, and in Series 1, forward. Same with Kevin Johnson. He was a guard in Series 2 and listed as a forward in Series 1. And then Tom Hammond, just a plain card in Series 1, and in Series 2, he's got his rookie star. So the difference between a Series 1 and Series 2 was some type of error that they corrected for Series 2. Now there were two head coaches that were different from Series 1 and Series 2. And they were the Los Angeles Lakers coach, Pat Riley, was replaced with Mike Dunleavy in Series 2. And then the Denver Nuggets head coach, Doug Moe, was replaced with Paul Westhead in Series 2. Some other updates. These are the updated player cards for players that just ended up switching teams. Manute Bol was originally started off the season with Golden State, finished the season with Philadelphia. Bill Wellington with the Dallas Mavericks, finished with the Sacramento Kings in Series 2. In Series 1, Sam Perkins with the Mavericks and with the Lakers in Series 2. And Danny Ainge with Sacramento Kings Series 1 and Portland Trail Blazers in Series 2. So other things to pay attention to while looking at cards like this, or opening a box if you have some, or looking at the old cards that you have, are some of the positions and cuts of the cards. So here's a few examples. So this Greg Grant card actually has a pretty good cut on it. It's pretty well centered, clean edges. You can help get a good idea of looking at the center and the back here with the gap of the black border with the yellow background. Everything looks pretty well centered. So this is a pretty nice looking card. Something like that is what you really want to look for. Now some of them got a little mixed up in the cutting or in the printing press. So you can see here Robert Parrish looks pretty good, but then this other Robert Parrish, notice the gap or the lack of the gap in the second card above the name, and then there is a bigger gap at the bottom. And also when you flip over to the back, you can kind of see the smaller gap up top here in this one versus this one, and the bigger gap at the bottom. So that you can see is just the cut was, so in this one you can see the cut just wasn't centered, not a very good cut. Clean edges, but just not very well centered. And then this Winston Garland example is a pretty good one of an off cut. So this one looks pretty well centered. This one, well off, almost cutting into the ink on the bottom there. So, and on the back you can see just the lack of color underneath the black border. And then over here it looks pretty well centered. All right, so now into the MVCs, or the most valuable cards in the set. Those are right here in the center. So there are 25 of these cards. We'll just kind of go through one by one to touch on them really quick. So if you get a box of these cards and you're opening them up, these are some of the top 25 cards that you want to look for. And the top rated card, or the most valuable card in this set, is this Mark Jackson of the New York Knicks card. You may think that's kind of odd that Mark Jackson is most valuable, but if you look here in the background, sitting right there, that's what makes this card valuable. So you got the Menendez brothers sitting right there. We got courtside. So this card, a PSA graded 10 is worth upwards of $300. And the second most valuable card is this Michael Jordan card. PSA 10, it goes for upwards as much as $225. And the third most valuable is Sam Vincent. Now you think, Sam Vincent, why is he most valuable out of this set? And the reason why is right here. It's Michael Jordan right there, but if you look closely, he's wearing number 12. So before this game, somebody stole his number 23 jersey, and they had to make do, and they ended up finding number 12, so he wore number 12. The only game in his career where he wore number 12. So, and then the Michael Jordan checklist card ranks up there at PSA 10 is $100. And Michael Jordan All-Star card, PSA 10, upwards of $90. And Drazen Petrikov rookie card, a PSA 10, upwards of $70. This Larry Bird PSA 10, upwards of $50. As well as the Tim Hardaway rookie card, the Magic Johnson MVP, upwards of $50 for PSA 10, as well as Shawn Kemp rookie card, and the Michael Jordan playground card, and the Michael Jordan Magic Johnson Super Streaks card, the Gary Payton draft card, upwards of $50 at a PSA 10, Larry Bird All-Star card, as much as $45, Vlade Divac rookie card, upwards of $45, Scottie Pippen, upwards of $35, and Hakeem Olajuwon, upwards of $35 as well. Same as David Robinson Rookie of the Year card, and a Magic Johnson All-Star card, upwards of $30, and the Dennis Rodman Defensive Player of the Year award card goes upwards of $30, as well as the Glenn Rice rookie card, and the Charles Barkley Philadelphia 76 card, and Patrick Ewing, as much as $25 at a PSA 10. Same as Karl Malone and John Stockton running out the top 25. So that pretty much concludes the Series 1, Series 2 NBA Hoops 1990-91 season break-in video. Hope you guys enjoy this, and stay tuned for more videos.